welcome to another episode of our CMO Peer Talks podcast, videocast, whatever we're calling it today. My name is Raquel and I run our customer success team, but you may know me as the host of our CMO Peer Talks community. It's the #1 community for CMOs in the franchise space. So I'm joined today by Ira Klusendorf, who is the VP of Marketing at Verlo Mattress. Hello.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Of course. How are you today?
Good. Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah.
Good start to the conference.
Yeah, IFA this year has been bumping already, and it's literally morning of day one officially. Yeah. So today we are here to talk about the challenges that we're seeing in 2023 in the franchise space. And I know we were just talking about this earlier, how the year started with some talks of recession, and we're trying to see how we can reinvent ourselves. And we see the economy for us on the day-to-day bouncing back. But I would love it if you could tell me a little bit about what you're doing at Verlo Mattresses and how this year has been for you and what your challenges are. To start.
Out of COVID, what really happened was, we're in the home industry, so we had just phenomenal success.
Yeah,
so we had that
course.
for 2 years. We set high numbers, and then the next year we set it again. So what we did going into 2023 is, okay, guys, it's not going to last forever.
Right.
Everyone's talking recession, so we got a plan for that.
Right.
So I went around and chatted with all of our franchisees, like, hey, let's really dive in and let's plan what you're doing for your marketing. Because what I recognize that we had a lot of people who were set it and forget it.
Right.
So, we had this rapid growth, so they're setting it up here, and now we're coming into recession. So I want to make sure that our franchisees understand, like, hey, it's changing, and the sky's not falling. We're going to be okay. But let's do what we can to protect ourselves. Let's just not throw money out there. So let's be smart. Let's fish where the fish are fishing. You're not just throwing in all of your lures in there. So that's what we went around and chatted with our franchisees about, and I think that's important, and they recognize that. And we're an older system, so it's interesting that I found that people had all of their marketing in their head. And we have a lot of operators. We don't have anyone who's a big marketing background.
Right.
So being able to come in and work with them individually on that to reset.
Yeah, I think you hit a lot of points that I would love to unpack. I think the first, what everyone in the franchise space knows, but maybe not everyone in general knows, is that franchisees are joining and buying into the business, right? They're not these marketing backgrounds. So I'd love it if you could talk a little bit about how you support the franchisees in training them on marketing or giving them resources, or if you're doing anything to automate that.
It's a lot. A lot of it is trust. So digital is big. So like I said, we have an older system. So these are franchisees that are used to doing things with newspaper or doing direct mail, and it's tough for them to understand that, hey, digital you can't see, because what they see is they send out a mailer and they say, well, I know it works because it's coming in.
Right. They have a tangible thing in their hand.
So it's getting them to see that and showing the analytics behind it. So that's been the probably thing I've been doing for the last 2 years is trying to build that trust of digital. Because that's where people are at, and we're an older brand, and we have a great customer base. The downside is that our customer base is getting older and older and older, and we need to fill in this bottom again with the younger, and where are the younger people at?
Yeah, online.
Right.
Yeah. I agree with that. So in terms of getting the leads, can you talk about some strategies that you've implemented over the 2 years, or maybe adjusted rather?
Yeah, we're really going after reviews. That's huge for us, because the reality of it, we have our website, people go to our website, get information, but there's been a big shift. That our website traffic is going down, however, the review traffic and going through GMB is going way up.
Absolutely.
So that's where people are going first to learn about our brand. So that's what's important to us, and we've been doing some incentives, or initiatives I should say, for our staff of, hey, let's get out there and let's get your name in reviews. So we have a program for them, and we incentivize our sales staff that, hey, if you get a 5-star review and your name is mentioned, we're going to put your name in a hat. And then you're going to get a prize.
Nice.
So it's worked out great, and the benefit of that is, talking about like brand. So not only is Verlo a brand, but we want our sales staff to be a brand as well.
Yeah, of course.
We're very intimate with our customers in the sense that, like, no one wants to come mattress shopping. So, and we say that we don't sell mattresses, we fix problems. And that's what we try to identify as, okay, what's the issue you're having? So, it's gaining that trust. Well, coming back to reviews, when we get great reviews, and not to mention the salesperson, hey, I came in and saw Johnny, and he took care of me, he listened to everything that I needed to say, and they follow through. So now, when people are looking at it, and they come in and then they say, hey, my name is Johnny, like,
I know you.
I know you. So it's great. So it helps lower those walls.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that really brings that great point of that the franchisees are a local part of the community. You know, some people just see the name, they think, oh, big brand, they don't actually care about where I am in my community. but when you're having such a personal experience, they feel that, and especially when it's such a personal purchase as well.
Yes.
So I think that's really smart strategy.
Absolutely, yeah. It works great for our sales staff. We do this with our delivery team as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great because it gives them a sense of pride as well.
Yeah.
And it's building up their brand. So they get excited about it, and they become more, and they're paying attention to it. So,
nice.
It just works for both of us. It works for our customers, it works for us. It's a nice circle.
We touched a little bit earlier about automation, and you highlighted that some parts are automated. I'd love it if you could break down for everyone watching today what parts you have automated, what you're looking to automate, or what that looks like for you within Verlo Mattresses.
We use some platforms. So once again, we're an older brand. So trying to teach people how to do review management, how to do social media, and giving access to social media. So that's another thing that we're trying to do. And through the platform that we use is there's guardrails. So especially now, and we have new franchisees coming on. They're still learning the brand. We have sales staff that we want to get out there and talk about product and the different things that we sell, just little tidbits, because video is the way to go. Well, they were all afraid to do it because they were afraid of, hey, am I going to say something bad? Am I going to get fired? So, we have guardrails that they can post on Facebook, but it goes through a review process. So it can go at the manager level, and then it can go at our home office level. So it's great in that aspect, so it sets up guardrails. Some other like tech IT stuff that we're switching over to is the whole, like the big chat GPT. It's great. Love it. It's fun. It's been interesting that it gets you probably 90-95% there. I mean, you still need to get in there and touch it.
A little tweak,
I mean, and I try to tell people, everyone's excited about it, but I got to remind people, like, think about how that's all set up. It's crawling all these websites and getting all this information. Who put all that information there to begin with? Humans. So you still got to go in, and you just can't just push the button and then take what it is not looking and go live with it. You got to make sure that you're checking the facts and doing, and I was playing with it. I was testing, like, what minimal information can I put into it, and then how big. It's amazing. I mean, it's incredible. It's fun. It's amazing, and it's helping us.
Awesome. And I think ChatGPT and other generative AI is a hot topic that we've seen here. And I think it can be intimidating for some, but I would love it if you could say how you started experimenting with it and what aspects you incorporated in. If you could reveal the secrets behind what you're doing.
Man,
cool.
it was, honestly, it was just playing. I like technology, so just playing. So, I mean, that's all it is. I mean, it was funny. I was having fun with it. And I'm like, you know what? Let's write someone's obituary.
Oh, okay.
It's like, oh my gosh, like what they find on the internet, and I was able to say, holy cow. So just playing around with it, and that's how I learn. I am not a textbook reader. Like, I can do that, but really I'm a hands-on, get on there, do it.
I'm the same.
So you just got to get out there and just play with it. And it's not too far. I think for some people it sounds intimidating. Dive in. Dive in.
I know I saw a TikTok, I'm addicted to TikTok, where they were saying what they could input into ChatGPT and what it yielded. And one of the prompts was, I need a cocktail that has like 3 ingredients, but it has to give Great Gatsby vibes, and it had a full recipe that it generated, and they made the cocktail, which was really cool. So I think that is a fun example, but it goes back to what you said, just plugging in and playing and seeing what works, and ultimately you still want to put your personal touch on what you're putting out there on the internet. But you can use it as a framework, as a place to start that automation journey. It's amazing. Like our software side, I mean, they're using it to start like doing some code stuff. Oh, wow.
It's sort of that starting point, and then they come in. So that's doing the legwork, doing that hard work. So they come in and tweak, because I think that's what you still need to do. You still need to come in, and you still need
oversight.
to tweak.
Wow, that is really cool that you're actually putting it into practice beyond like creative copy, which is what we've seen the most frequent use of generative AI.
It's fun. It's cool.
I mean, it sounds like it. Wow. So I'd love to learn a little bit more about how you balance that. Like, I know we talked about experimenting and leaning into it, but do you think there's ever a point where it could be too automated or too artificial?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Automation is great. I mean, we're going through it right now. We redesigned our website, and we were going for a fully automated website through our, we use NetSuite through that. And it kept breaking because there's just so many things going on. So then, you recognize, well, as much as we'd love to be automated and it becomes efficient, you still need that human touch.
Yeah.
So we backed it down. So our website is now, instead of being 100% automated, we went backwards. So we're probably 40% automated and then the 60. So now we're locking in certain things so they're not changing, certain things aren't breaking. So that helps, and it gives us control. As much as I love systems and love efficiencies, it also is a little scary because you know, it's what's behind it is difficult because you don't know exactly what it is, so then trying to find it. You know, we had issues where something over here would get fixed, but then something breaks over here.
Yeah.
So that's been a challenge, and so that's why we kind of come in and say, okay, it can't be fully automated.
Yeah.
You need some human touch.
Yeah. You've said a few times today, oh, we're an old system, but for an old system, you're using a lot of cutting edge tech in what you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, we're mattresses.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's marketing.
Yeah, it's 100% marketing. I know. And I'm thinking in my head because I actually have to go mattress shopping now. So I'm like, great point.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you have any words of wisdom or advice for someone? Because you highlighted when we were talking that mattresses, you had a fantastic 2020, 2022 because everyone was at home, everyone was redoing their home and spending so much time that they couldn't have the old mattresses. You needed the new stuff. And now with recession talks, you had to prepare the strategy. Do you have advice for anyone that's in that similar position? How did you take the reins and sit back and do that?
You know, I think it's just retail in general. People are always, it's fear, but the reality of it, I mean, if you look at just historical, I mean, retail is always like this, right?
Ebbs and flows.
So, and fortunately, we were able to get really high, and now we're dipping down. But you just got to manage your expectations and understand and plan. Don't get caught off guard. I mean, really look like. Plan it. We went around to our system and say, hey, look, we're going to plan down. We advise you to plan down for your marketing spend so that you can meet that, and now you're not getting over your skis, spending way too much on marketing, and your top line sales isn't it. So I'd say that's the one, is really check in on your franchisees and making sure, because a lot of, at least in our system, they're operators. They're not necessarily marketers, and we have a lot of people who are in the business. So they're so busy that they're doing things where they just kind of set it and forget it for the marketing. Which works for them, but now this is the time you got to pay attention. So and that's what I'm doing, is raising my hand and just saying, hey guys, let's pay attention, take a look.
I think that's really great advice as well. It's that you know your industry, you know what's come before you, and you can use that as knowledge for the future, even though you can't obviously predict the future, but you can use it as templates and areas to look at and to really kind of plan forward.
Yeah. It's been good.
Yeah, great. Well, it sounds like
we're almost done.
We're almost
done with it. I feel it. I think this is going to be a short trip. It's tax time here. So,
it is.
that's the one thing I think last year that hurt a little bit, was that a lot of people had families because they had the child credit. So they're expecting big tax returns. This year taxes are a little higher, but that extra money is coming back. So I think that's going to benefit us, and we're seeing it.
Nice.
So
It's really interesting also, not only do we think of the factors that we have in tech and automation, and obviously we just talked about the recession, but things
all the outside.
The outside just comes in constantly.
It's really paying attention to just a lot of variables, and it's
just keeping your eye on the pulse on literally everything.
And that's our job, right? That's our responsibility, to help our franchisees to be as successful as possible. So we got to be that watchful eye,
definitely,
and help, and like, hey, we're sort of like the weatherman. It's like, hey, a storm is coming.
I'm stealing that. I'm stealing that. I think. Ooh, almost fell off the chair there. That's how great I thought it was. I do think it's actually really important, and I think that's why people join franchises, right? They love the support that you do at the head office and the hard work of forming the brand and the tone and everything, and they buy into the vision. So that's what they're doing at the end of the day. And it's just reinforcing that, and just letting them know that we're here to help. I mean, that's really what evolved with us, for us, that I've been there for 3 years, is just changing that conversation of, hey, we're not here to slap your hand, we're here to help you. Like, we want you to be better. If you're making more, that's better for everybody. Everyone.
So we're here to help.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your time today. Again, everyone, we have Ira Klusendorf from Verlo Mattresses. All my questions are here, so you mixed it up. Well, thank you again for your time today.
Thank you for having me. It was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.